up with a man and he goes to attack your character, whether directly or indirectly, if he, just throws insults, online to you or whoever will listen, or he spreads rumors, or he tells partial truths, that says more about him than it does you. And the best response to something like that is to not engage. First off, let me tell you how I even got here. So one of my Self-Crown VIP members on our last live chat we just did, she asked the question, D, how is it that a man will do you bad, do you wrong, neglect you, not want to have anything to do with you seemingly in the relationship, even though you love him, but then after the relationship is over and you give him what it seemed like he wanted, which is distance, why is it that he'll go and try to ruin your character, talk bad about you, talk down about you? Why is it that you can give a man all your love, all your support, hold him down when he has nothing, but if you leave him, he treats you and talks about you like you're scum of the earth? And I corrected her. I said, look, this ain't a man thing. Y'all know I have no problem holding my brothers accountable. I have no problem holding y'all accountable, myself, nobody. But this ain't a man thing. This is a narcissistic person thing. Meaning I can't diagnose nobody with narcissism, and I want to be very careful about that. But we can always identify if a certain behavior is narcissistic in its nature. And if you break up with somebody or leave somebody and then they go for, attacking your character, talking bad about you, first off, they were more than likely surprised you even had the courage to leave. And this is simply a retaliation. Let me tell you when I first came across this, it was a few years ago. One of my old friends, she had just gotten out of a marriage. And her and this guy were together. They were a big deal in college. But they, together for years, had a beautiful child, all these different things. But when it all fell apart, and this is how I even found out about it, because she didn't hit me up, I hit her up. When the guy came to my page, he reached all the way back years prior to like a picture we had from however long ago and started trolling. And I contacted her. I'm like, everything okay? And apparently this guy was trolling everybody in her friend circle, business network circle, everybody that she knew. He was trolling, he was harassing, he was contacting, he was reaching out. And then she was like, I don't know what I did to deserve this. And the same thing I told her is the same thing I'm gonna tell y'all. There ain't nothing you can do to deserve this. You can be a bad partner. You can make your mistakes and have your flaws in a relationship. But there's nothing you can do to deserve having a person trying to tear you down in terms of your reputation, in terms of your honor after the relationship is over. But again, the first reason why a guy's going to do this, and this goes both ways, men and women do this, but the first reason why a guy's going to do this is because he's retaliating. This is his way of saying, I'm surprised you even had the strength to leave. This is his retaliation. This is a form of an implosion. How dare you leave me? Since you left me, I'm going to make you hurt the way I'm hurt about you leaving me. As crazy as that sounds, put I down in the chat if you've ever had anybody go talking crazy, spreading rumors after the relationship was over, and you just wanted peace. You just wanted distance. You was just letting them go. You ain't trying to have none of these issues. You just say, I'm good on you. But then they go attacking your character. Put I down in the chat. Another reason why a guy's going to do this, he's going to attack your character after the relationship is over, especially if you leave him, is because he truly believes he's a victim. You have some men with a victim complex, some men and women, but you have some men with a victim complex. They can do no wrong. Everything is everybody else's fault. They never caused the circumstances. They never pushed anybody away. They never hurt anybody. They never caused you to look at them with less respect and treat him with less respect. He never warranted it. No, none of that. It's all you. It's all somebody else. Somebody who raised them. Somebody who did him wrong that day. You and your lack of forgiveness time and time again. So when a person truly feels like they are a victim, even though they're not, they will go on the defense even when nobody's actually done anything offensive to them. So if you're just taking care of you and protecting you and upholding your boundaries, he'll go to attack you as if you did something wrong by no longer tolerating his wrongful treatment. He truly believes he's a victim. So then he'll go out here painting you as this attacker, this monster. Man, she left me when I ain't have. She did this, she did that. Because that's how he sees himself. That's really authentic and true how he sees himself. This would be a covert narcissistic move, by the way. Again, Not necessarily saying he's a narcissist, but covert narcissistic is when a person is a lot less overt. It's a lot less, hey, look at me, I'm important, bow down, what we usually know about a narcissist. And this is much more of the woe is me. My pain is more important than anybody else's pain. I'm not in control of my destiny. I'm not in control of my circumstances. Everybody else is at fault for anything wrong in my life. That's more of a covert, and very, very much so underhanded, hard to recognize. But another reason why a guy will go attack your character after the relationship is over is because he knows there's power in agitating your friends and your family. Because it's not even about offending you. You may have detached yourself from whatever he thinks about you. You may have just said, yeah, I don't care what you can say, whatever you want to say about me. But he knows that if your sisters, your brothers, your mother, your cousins, if they see what's being said about you, they're going to get pissed off. And on the strength of them being pissed off, now you're pissed off. And not only would your emotion be supply for him, make him feel insignificant, that kind of thing, more gasoline to the fire, but now he can use those who are close to you as supply. So even if he can't visibly agitate you, they may not necessarily know what he's on. They may not know what he's capable of. So after the relationship is over, now they are just completely unguarded. This is taking them by surprise. And when they come to defend you or try to stop him or come to you and say, hey, why is he saying these things? Is this true? Just by way of that, he knows that he's having an impact on you. Another reason why a guy will go attacking your character, whether it's spreading rumors, throwing insults, just using nasty, foul language to you after the relationship is over, is because he wants a response from you. And now this is, yes, narcissistic in nature, but sometimes you have a person do this just out of desperation. They just want to know that you still care like they care. So think of it like more so a tantrum of sorts. You know how kids will throw a tantrum? That's because they haven't developed yet the capacity to articulate themselves, the emotional self-regulation to calm down first and then communicate. Totally typical, totally normal, okay for kids. But then you have grown kids, you have grown boys who will do the exact same thing in some shape, form, or another, even if it hurts you. So this is a sort of tantrum, what a guy will do to get you to respond, get you to answer his text back, or get you to pick up the phone and call him back, get you to respond to the email, something to get a response out of you. And again, it's narcissistic, but this isn't when he's necessarily trying to damage and be malicious. He's basically letting you know he can't survive without you. That void that he had you feeling, that abandonment wound that he should have healed before he got into the relationship, or maybe he, in his own mind, took ownership of you during the relationship. And now that you're gone, he's really just falling apart. He's falling to pieces. And he wants some type of response, whether it's a reaction, whether it's for you to clap back, or whether it's for you to say, hey, can we sit down and talk? And he actually have an opportunity in his mind to get back with you and make things right. And one more reason why a guy will go attacking your character after the relationship is over is because, again, it's very similar to this, to the last one. It gives him power. It gives him power. It puts the decision making. If he can bring you to your knees, if he can have you crying and begging for him to stop, maybe he can set the parameters for which he'll stop. And you'll be surprised how many guys can be bought. How many guys say, okay, I'll chill out, but you got to give me another chance. You got to let me move back in. You got to do this. You got to do that. Give me the house. If y'all got a divorce type of situation, give me this. Basically, what a guy will do is hold your peace for ransom, hold your reputation for ransom. Yeah. You know, I'm going to tell them about this and I'm going to tell them about that. And don't let you be a quiet, private person where you don't really like to talk, because he knows it's a lose-lose for you. Either you allow him to keep ruining your reputation and putting things out there about you and associating things with your name, or you join in his circus. You join in his circus. You go to defending yourself, explaining yourself, probably looking like you're not telling the truth because you're not used to even speaking on behalf of yourself. So, you know, definitely if this person has any type of dark secrets or anything like that, this is when you'll see them use this as a power move. They want power over you. They want to be able to dictate the control of something in that situation. And so, again, you have situations where a guy's just a complete narcissist. There's no hope for him if he's not self-aware. If he's not self-aware, he's not willing to get help. and that type of thing. Again, you got to kind of create that distance. But then you'll have some people who do this. They're not necessarily narcissists, but they're being narcissistic because they're so damaged and because they're now trying to project that onto you. And when you're talking about a man who's not able to handle that, that's a man who's emotionally underdeveloped. There are plenty of men who had that kind of situation go on, but they grew up, they evolved beyond that. They learn how to not take ownership of any woman. You know, if they're not best for a woman and they truly love her, they learn how to let that woman go and be loved by somebody else who's more equipped. Or if they're just not right for each other, you know, if you decided to leave. Or even if things do go bad, they know how to not negate everything good that ever happened. Or regardless of if it was bad, they see nothing they have to gain by trying to bash you and take you down. They're more so just about moving on and living their best life. It's just like as a woman, whenever you truly want your peace, you're not even tripping about revenge. You're not tripping about ruining no man. You just want distance. Put I down in the chat if you ever got out of a hell of a relationship and all you wanted was distance. You ain't want him to lose money. You ain't wish bad on him. You wouldn't mind having those years back that you spent. But you're not trying to ruin him. You just want your peace. You just want distance. Leave me alone. That's how evolved men feel. That's how evolved men feel. But here's the thing. A lot of y'all are running across these guys who have these types of retaliations. And this is probably one I should have added to the list. Because whenever they got with you, you became a part of their identity. And now they're having to re-identify with who they were before you. Basically, you were such a level up in their life that whenever they got with you, it was like, oh, now I can think of myself as this type of man because I have this type of woman. And this is the problem with being with somebody that you're unequally yoked with. They don't want to get unyoked. And if they have to get unyoked, what they're going to try to do is bring you down so nobody else can experience that upgrade that they were once experiencing. That, like, quiet as kept. There's a lot of guys who didn't really have much self-esteem until they got with you. This is why you'll get with a guy and all of a sudden now he acting like you regular. He's so big in the head because he's with you and he never really felt like much, but you done gave him a chance. You done saw something good in him. You done humbled yourself. And now he gonna treat you like you the one that he doing the favor for. But then whenever you decide you're gonna leave him, it's like, oh wait, you gonna take my identity with you? No, you can't do that. You can't take my identity with you and give it to somebody else. So he'll try to ruin it. It's like when somebody getting they car towed or something like that and they decide they want to shoot up the car so nobody else can get it. It's stupid, but that's the exact same concept. And this is why you got to date men who are on your level, equally yoked, both mentally, financially, yes, financially, at least in terms of their capacity to manage money, their financial literacy, spiritually, equally yoked. And some of y'all have put so much work in on yourself. The only man who's going to be equally yoked with you is an evolved man, a man who has done the work before he got into the relationship, a man who has learned those lessons before he got into the relationship. He ain't perfect, but he's growing and he's evolving and he's already evolved. Now, if you feel like you keep finding these guys or running into these guys or attracting these guys who are not equally yoked with you, then you need to use the strategies that attract evolved men who are actually on your level. And if you haven't yet, get access to the masterclass where I broke that down. I did a whole masterclass on it, so I left no doubt, but I simplified the strategies that are already working to make evolved men crave you. If you want access to that, click the link that you see pinned right here down in the comments, also in the caption whenever you back out, and get access to that masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. For those of y'all who are typically overqualified and underwhelmed with the guys that are coming your way. So back to what I was saying, whenever somebody after a relationship wants to just ruin your reputation, talk bad about you, down you, insult you, say nasty things, spread nasty rumors, attack your reputation, it's because they believe that, hey, reputation is everything. And this is why it's very dangerous to believe that lie. Reputation is everything, because reputation has a lot to do with people's perception and their ability to perceive and understand you. But when you take that power back and you say, no, reputation ain't everything. Peace is everything. And to maintain my peace, I'll keep my distance from not only you who's trying to ruin my reputation, but anybody who just believes your side of the story without daring to hear mine. That's the real flex. But those are just my thoughts. If y'all got something from this, share this right now on your timeline for somebody else who it can bless. And if you're in the market for an evolved man, click the link that you see pinned right down here in the comments, also in the caption when you back out, and get access to my free masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. That's if you're in the market for an evolved man. Holla at y'all, lady. Y'all be good. Peace.